Hey everyone, and welcome back. Get ready for a story that proves the phrase "hell hath no fury" was written specifically for wedding planning drama. You expect a little stress when you're planning the biggest day of your life, but you don't expect your future sister-in-law to try and sabotage your entire existence just because she feels entitled to your family heirloom. This is the story of Sarah and her fiancé Liam, and the viper who was his sister, Mia. Mia didn't just want the spotlight, she wanted Sarah's legacy, her pride, and her most sentimental possession, a hand-stitched, vintage wedding veil. When Mia pushed Sarah one step too far, calling her a commoner undeserving of the veil, Sarah decided enough was enough. She gave Mia exactly what she wanted, but the real gift was the public humiliation that followed at the rehearsal dinner. This is pure, unadulterated revenge served ice-cold. You won't believe how Mia's perfect facade shattered. Let's dive in. My entitled future sister-in-law demanded my hand-stitched wedding veil, calling me a commoner. I gave it to her right before I exposed her secret affair at our rehearsal dinner. My name is Sarah, and I spent a year planning the perfect wedding to my fiancé, Liam. Liam is, and has always been, the best thing in my life. He's kind, supportive, and honestly, the only sane person in his entire family. His older sister, Mia, on the other hand? She was a nightmare straight out of a reality TV show. Mia was gorgeous, wealthy, and absolutely convinced that the world revolved around her. She was the family's golden child, the one who married rich, the one with the perfect suburban mansion, the one who dictated family events. From the moment Liam proposed, Mia decided that I was beneath her. The conflict started the minute I showed her the veil. My wedding veil wasn't just a piece of fabric, it was a legacy. It was hand-stitched by my great-grandmother in the 1920s and worn by every woman in my family since. It was cathedral-length, lace-edged, and absolutely stunning. It was priceless to me, both sentimentally and historically. We were at my dress fitting, and I was so excited to finally show the full look to my future family. Liam was there, his mom, and, unfortunately, Mia. The moment the veil was placed on my head, Mia's entire demeanor shifted. Her usual forced smile dropped, replaced by this intense, covetous stare. "That," she announced, walking closer, "is divine. Where did you purchase it?" "Oh, it's not purchased," I explained, glowing. "It's a family heirloom. It's been worn by 4 generations of women in my family." Mia scoffed. "An heirloom? Sarah, dear, this is too fine to be some dusty old thing. Are you sure you didn't buy it at that boutique downtown?" "I'm sure, Mia," I replied, forcing a smile. "My great-grandmother made it." From that moment on, the veil became her obsession. Every time we saw her, she'd bring it up. At one family dinner, she lamented how she wished she had a beautiful heirloom for her own eventual second wedding. Mia was currently engaged to Charles, a very wealthy and socially prominent doctor. Their wedding was scheduled 6 months after ours. "It just seems like such a waste on you, Sarah," she said casually one afternoon while we were looking at invitation proofs. "I mean, no offense, but your family, well, they aren't exactly society figures. I could display this properly at the country club reception. It deserves a high-profile wedding." I told her firmly, "Mia, it's not a decoration for a country club. It's my family's tradition, and it means the world to me." The answer is no. Liam, to his credit, was always on my side. He warned her several times to back off. "Mia, stop harassing Sarah. It's her veil. Period." But Mia only escalated. She started sending me links to expensive, modern veils, suggesting I buy one of those instead and donate the heirloom to her. She even tried calling my mother, attempting to manipulate her into giving up the veil, claiming I was being selfish. My mom shut her down immediately, telling her the veil wouldn't even leave my house until the day of the wedding. The week before the wedding, things reached a boiling point. We were having lunch to finalize seating charts, and Mia was in a foul mood. She was complaining about the flowers, complaining about the venue, basically complaining about everything that wasn't about her. Then she looked right at me, smirked, and delivered the line that sealed her fate. "Honestly, Sarah, you're nice, I guess, but let's be realistic. You're a commoner. You work in a bookstore. You don't have the stature or the family connections to truly appreciate something like that veil. It's like putting a Monet in a laundromat. It belongs with me, where it will be seen by the right people." That word, commoner, hit me hard. It wasn't just about the veil anymore, it was about her blatant disrespect for me, my family, and my worth. I felt my blood run cold, and I had to clench my fists under the table to stop them from shaking. I stood up, pushing my chair back slowly. "Mia, I will give you the veil. But you're going to regret the day you ever called me common." Liam looked terrified. Mia just looked smug. Oh, finally, a moment of clarity. "Thank you, Sarah. You're making the right choice." I walked out right then, ignoring Liam's panicked calls. I knew what I had to do. Mia wanted high society, prestige, and power. I was going to take it all away. Mia was obsessed with maintaining the image of the perfect fiancé and socialite, but she had a massive secret. About 2 months earlier, while scrolling through a local gossip blog that tracks the city's elite, I noticed a very blurred photo of a woman making out with a man who was definitely not Charles. The comments section named the woman as M from the country club crowd. I was just curious, so I dug deeper. Using my less-than-commoner skills, I managed to identify the man. His name was Derek, and he was Mia's business partner's husband. Derek was also a well-known philanderer, but more importantly, he and Mia had been having an on-again, off-again affair for over 2 years, well into her engagement with Charles. I didn't just have one blurred photo. Over the last few weeks of planning my revenge, I'd gone full detective. I found shared vacation booking confirmations under fake names, dozens of highly explicit DMs exchanged on a secure platform, and even a couple of photos Mia had foolishly taken and sent to Derek, who had apparently saved everything on a non-work cloud drive. The evidence was irrefutable. Mia wasn't just selfish, she was a lying, cheating hypocrite who was about to marry a wonderful, unsuspecting man named Charles, while maintaining a facade of moral superiority. I compiled everything onto a simple, elegant flash drive, which I then put into a small, velvet jewelry box. My revenge wouldn't be messy, it would be surgical. The rehearsal dinner was held the night before the wedding. Mia, of course, arrived looking flawless and acted like she was the star of the show, not the maid of honor. She made a point of sitting next to Charles and whispering sweet nothings in his ear, all while occasionally shooting me condescending glances. Liam's parents gave a brief toast, followed by my mom, who kept it sweet and focused on Liam and me. Then came the gift exchange for the wedding party. When it was my turn to address Mia, I walked up to the podium, trying to keep my voice steady. The room was beautiful, filled with family, friends, and several highly influential members of Charles's social circle, exactly the audience Mia cherished. Before the real gift exchange, I began, looking straight at Mia. "I have one special, highly anticipated gift for Mia." Mia beamed, convinced I was about to announce that she would be wearing the veil at her own wedding. She literally stood up, ready to accept her prize. I took a black velvet box from my pocket and handed it to her. "This," I announced, loud enough for the whole room to hear, "is the veil." Mia opened the box. Inside, resting on the velvet, was the small, elegant flash drive. Her smile faltered. "It's a drive?" she asked, confusion coloring her voice. "Yes," I replied sweetly. I realized that the beautiful heirloom veil was, as you said, too good for a commoner. It deserves to be worn by someone who embodies class, dignity, and most importantly, respect for the sanctity of marriage. I paused, letting the silence hang. "And since you believe you are that person, I'm giving you all the evidence you need to prove your worth." Mia narrowed her eyes. "What are you talking about, Sarah? What evidence?" "It's a collection of documents, photos, and messages," I explained, maintaining a calm, even tone. I spent the last few weeks doing some research, and what I found proved your point completely, Mia. You are far from common. I turned slightly to address the room. You see, Mia is currently engaged to Charles, a man who is kind, generous, and clearly adores her. But Mia has been very busy embodying the stature she believes she deserves. I'm sure Charles, and all of you, will be very interested in the 2 years of text messages and booking confirmations with Derek, her business partner's husband. The silence in the room was deafening. Every single eye was glued to Mia. Charles, who was sitting next to her, slowly rose from his seat, his face white. Mia looked like she had been hit by a truck. Her eyes were wide, darting desperately between me and Charles. She stammered, "This is a lie. She's lying. She's jealous." "Am I?" I asked, my voice still dangerously calm. "Ask Derek, Mia. Or better yet, ask the owner of that seaside condo you rented in Laguna Beach 2 months ago. It's all there, on that little drive. I even included the photos you sent him from the country club locker room." Charles stared at the velvet box in Mia's hand, his expression evolving from confusion to profound horror. "Is this true, Mia?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Mia didn't look at him. She looked at me, her eyes filled with pure venom. She lunged, trying to grab the microphone, but I stepped back. "You said I was a commoner," I said, my voice rising slightly. "You tried to steal my family's legacy. You disrespected me in front of my fiancé. This is the consequence of believing you are above everyone else, Mia. You wanted prestige? You wanted attention? You got it." Charles finally took the flash drive from Mia's trembling hand and looked down at the label I'd affixed to it, evidence of Mia's extracurricular activities, 2021 present. He didn't even need to open it. He just looked at Mia, shook his head slowly, and walked out of the rehearsal dinner without saying another word. Mia screamed, a high, strangled sound that cut through the room. "You absolute B***********. You ruined everything." Liam immediately rushed to my side, not to defend Mia, but to defend me from her wrath. Mia's mother was crying, trying to pull Mia away, but Mia wouldn't move. She just stood there, staring at the door Charles had walked through, realizing her perfect life had just imploded. I looked at Liam and squeezed his hand. I gave her the veil, Liam. It was too good for a commoner like me. Liam didn't even try to smile. He just guided me away from the disaster zone, and his father, looking completely deflated, took the podium to dismiss the guests. The dinner ended abruptly, leaving the entire room buzzing with shock and scandal. The aftermath was exactly what I'd hoped for. Charles broke off the engagement that night, sending the news to his family and friends via a carefully worded but devastating email that vaguely referenced shocking betrayals. Mia's social standing evaporated instantly. The country club crowd is ruthless, and the scandal of cheating on a highly respected doctor with a married business partner was nuclear. Mia spent the next week harassing me, Liam, and our parents with hateful messages. She called me every name under the sun, accusing me of stalking, defamation, and destroying her life. Liam's mother finally stepped in, telling Mia that she had gone too far and that the family was completely done with her drama. She told Mia that she was appalled by her affair and even more appalled by her behavior toward me. Our actual wedding the next day was incredible. I wore the heirloom veil, and it felt even more precious, more significant, knowing what I had fought for to keep it. As I walked down the aisle, I realized that standing up to Mia hadn't just been about revenge, it had been about reclaiming my dignity. Mia was not invited to the wedding, nor was Charles. He sent a lovely gift and an apology for his sister's actions. A few weeks later, my mom told me that Mia had to resign from the charity board she was on. The fallout from the flash drive was still ongoing, causing serious trouble for Derek's marriage and his business partnership with Mia's family friend. I have no regrets. Mia learned the hard way that entitlement doesn't protect you from consequences, and sometimes, the quiet commoner is the one you should fear the most. She wanted prestige and attention on my wedding weekend. I delivered. Wow. Just wow. The sheer audacity of Mia is unbelievable, but the measured, surgical way Sarah delivered that justice? Perfection. She wanted the spotlight, and Sarah made sure she got it, just not the spotlight she expected. The veil is safe, the marriage is happy, and Mia's entitlement is finally checked. I want to know what you think. Did Sarah go too far? Or was this the exact level of public humiliation Mia deserved after months of torment and that final, cruel insult? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this incredible story, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another video. See you in the next one.